What's up YouTube? Welcome to a new video. As you can see today I'm trying something new. I'm going to be walking around in this very nice weather, amazing weather. See all the beautiful snow. And so today I'll be talking about the prelim exams and the difference between a candidate and a pre-candidate and what that means for a PhD student. So right now I'm in my second year, in my first semester, and I'm a pre-candidate. So what does that mean? So when you enroll in a PhD program and you start off in your first year, your first semester, they say you're a pre-candidate, which means you still have to take a bunch of classes and you have to pass the qualifying exam. In addition to passing the qualifying exam, you have to pass the preliminary exams. So I already made a video talking about what the qualifying exam is, so you can go check that out. So this video is going to be talking about the prelim exams. For the classes, you can just watch my previous videos about my first semester and second semester, and there I detail what kind of classes I've been taking throughout the year. And so this video is just going to be focused on the prelims, and especially because I have them coming up either this month or maybe next month probably. So starting off as a pre-candidate, what you'll be doing is you're taking those classes, you're trying to reach a certain amount of credits, and at the same time you're looking for a research advisor. You're sort of shopping around, trying to see, which professors do you enjoy working with that have some good research. And then during your first year and second year, you are going to work with one of those professors. You're going to find some advisor. You're going to say, okay, let me try this research out, and then you're going to work with it. And most of the time, people just go with their advisors that they chose. All right, so why is there this distinction between pre-candidate and candidate? Well, in Europe, if you're doing a PhD, I believe almost everywhere in Europe, the way to get into a PhD is to first have a master's. So you first get your master's, and then you go do your PhD. And what you do in your PhD is just research. You're just doing research, you're working on your thesis, and that's all you're doing. But here in the US, you can enroll in a PhD program without a master's degree. So you can just finish your bachelor's and then jump straight into a PhD. And what ends up happening is your first 2 years are basically like doing a master's. So you're taking classes and you're working sort of on a small project, getting your hands into research, still trying to figure out that advisor. So basically the distinction between a pre-candidate and a candidate is similar to how you can go from a master's to a PhD student. But it's all bundled together in one in the US. So you enroll in a PhD program and you start off as a pre-candidate. So it's like you started off as a master's student. So what's the prelim exam? So after you're done with your classes, you've taken the right amount of classes, you've finished your qualifying exam. What you have to do is you have to pass an oral exam. And this oral exam is going to be about your research. You're going to form a committee of professors who are in a similar field as you, and then you're going to present the research you've been working on for the past however long you've been working on it since you've enrolled in the PhD. And the idea of a prelim exam is that you want to show the committee that you're ready, you understand the scope of the research questions you've been asking, you have a solid idea of how to take it from there, and you're basically telling them, okay, I can now give me these 3 years or 4 years and I can write you a thesis, I can generate new ideas, I can analyze data, I can do such and such. So it's basically the rite of passage for the committee to say, okay, we trust you, you are now a candidate, you can be sort of a full-time researcher. But now that doesn't mean that you stop taking classes. In fact, once you're a candidate, you can still take one class per semester. So that's the policy we have, is that you can take a single class per semester. So you can still be learning school stuff, and they don't have to be physics classes. They can be, whatever classes you like. So that's pretty cool. And then the other thing is you're not technically full-time because you might be still teaching. So if you're teaching, then you have to spend some time doing that. You have to spend time grading. But if your advisor has funding or you're on a fellowship, then basically you're a full-time researcher. All you're doing is just doing research. My prelim exam is coming up, and I basically spent Thanksgiving break doing my presentation on PowerPoint, and it took quite a while because it's not a short presentation. It's about an hour long, 45 minutes for a presentation, and then 15 minutes for questions. And I made like a 40 slide presentation, and so my job now is to rehearse it and give it as best as I can to my committee and get the approval from them that they think I can become a candidate, so I can become dedicated to my research. I become this PhD student. So that's basically the difference between a pre-candidate and a candidate. I've received many questions about that, especially from my friends and family. When I tell them I'm going to be taking my prelim exam to become a candidate, they're always wondering like, what's the difference between a pre-candidate and a candidate, and how are you doing a PhD without your master's and stuff like that. So hopefully this video clarifies all that, and especially for people who are going into their PhD studies, now you know the difference between a pre-candidate and a candidate. So as always, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.